Good morning, students. Welcome to once again the video session on the business organization subject for the first semester. Till date, we have covered 3 lessons, and this is the 4th lesson of the first unit. We are today discussing the classification of business activities. Already you have the exposure if you have studied 11th and 12th commerce. Even then, it is our overall requirement to have a closer look at the classification of business activities. Broadly, the arena of business can be categorized under 2 categories: industry and commerce. Already we know what is an industry. We are regularly seeing so many companies, so many organizations which are converting the factors of production into the goods and services and making them to go for effective consumption for the needs, to fulfill the needs of the customers or the people in the society. So industry is nothing but the conversion, a point of conversion of the various factors of production or the raw materials or the resources into a finished product. So we will classify the industries under 3 categories: primary industries, secondary industries, and tertiary industries. The primary industries can include extracting industries and genetic industries. So what is an extracting industry? Extraction means to get them out, to pull them out, which are not visible. By pulling them, by extraction of that, they will be getting above the earth or in a usable manner as a resource or a raw material. So like the iron ore, coal, even sometimes the various resources which are hidden in the nature, they are going to be extracted and they are being converted into the finished products. Next one is the genetic industries. The genetic industries are those industries which will apply the naturally available resources on the earth and convert them into a finished product. The best example is the leather industry, the wool industry, or the agricultural industry. They will extract the raw material from the nature and they will convert or generate the goods and services by using that. Next, coming to that secondary. The secondary industries comprise of analytical industry, synthetical industry, processing industry, and other industries. Okay. See, the analytical industry is the industry where the analysis of the raw material is done and which will be produced for which will be used for producing the finished goods. By analyzing it, by dividing it, they will be going to use it. The analytical industry example is, say, the extraction of crude oil, and from the crude oil, by analyzing the crude oil as a raw material, we will be going for the production of the gasoline or the petrol, the aviation petrol, the kerosene, the diesel, the tar, etc., etc., as the extraction from those industries. So the analytical industry is also a part of extraction industry. Next, coming to the synthetical industry. Here the production of synthetic oriented products like rubber production, chemicals production, right? Various lubricants production, they will be coming under the synthetical industry. The processing, conversion of the raw material into the finished product by following a process. The best example is sugar industry. The sugar is produced through processing from one to one, right? So the sugar cane, which is being converted into one portion, one process, then second process, third process, like that. Whatever might be the industries, they are coming under the secondary industries after the primary industry. The next one is the tertiary industry. Here, this is the third sector or the third part of the industry. Mostly it comprises under the production or the creation of services, the provision of various services under this industry like insurance sector, banking sector, educational sector, like that. All the services are provided to the people through the various, this is also industry. For example, the telecom sector, the communication services, the financial services, finance sector, they will be coming under the service sector. Now coming to the question of the trade and auxiliaries to trade, which are the elements of the commerce. Commerce is what we already have the exposure of what is the commerce. Commerce is the transfer of ownership from the producer to the consumer, and the exchange of goods takes place, which comes under the commerce. So what is a trade? Trade is facilitating the exchange of goods and services between the buyer and the seller. So the trade may be domestic trade, national trade or international trade. Broadly we classify it as internal trade and external trade. The domestic trade comes under the internal trade. The internal trade comprises of the wholesalers and retailers. Who are the wholesalers? Who procure the goods from the manufacturer in a huge manner, store them and then distribute the goods to the local, small and marginal retail sellers, and through their stores the retailers can sell the products to the customers directly. So the wholesalers are the facilitators of the time utility, place utility and so on and so forth. Next one is retailer. Generally we approach the retailers only. We don't look for the wholesalers. In exceptional cases only we look for wholesalers. And most of the localized businesses are conducted through the retailers only. See, the point of selling, the point of purchase, what we denote, they come under the retail trade. Next one is the external trade. External trade comprises of three categories: export trade, import trade and import trade. So no country in this world is self-sufficient. And there is a saying in international business that every country is dependent on another country. Right? The interdependency is there. When there is an interdependency, generally there may be a shortage of one product or one service in one country, and it will go for acquiring that from the other country. The country which supplies those goods and services to the other country is called as exporter or exporting country, and the country which procures from the exporting country is called as the importing country. So the exports are taking place in the case of surplus of producing the goods. After the consumption, even then still there is some production is there, then there is a need for exporting. So exporting is getting the goods from outside the country by the other country. So we will be sending our products out of our country. Importing means getting the goods from other country. The person who supplies is going to provide us in the country to where there is a need or a market or a possibility of selling. So that's why export and import are coming under the international trade. Now coming to the third one, entry port trade. What is an entry port trade? It is neither an export nor an import. The best example are where the electronic goods are procured from Japan or in so many countries, and they will be assembled somewhere like in Singapore or somewhere, and from there the finished products will be supplied to other countries. Right? Next one is the transportation, auxiliaries to trade. Under the auxiliaries to trade, what are these? These are also called as aids to trade or facilitators of trade also. These are mostly service oriented. They will facilitate the trade of the businessmen to create the exposure of the goods and services as well as the utility of the goods and services, creation of utilities, transportation. Generally it comes under the place utility, where the goods are produced with the manufacturing end, they will be transported to those areas where there are wholesalers and retailers in the market, and by that there will be a consumption or a demand for the products. So the transportation is a connecting element between the manufacturer and the customer. Next one is warehousing, storing of goods. All of a sudden goods are not produced in a huge quantity. So goods are continuously produced in huge quantities and they will be stored with a secure level, and then they will be facilitating for the supply. Next one is advertising. What is in advertising? The non-personal presentation of communication by the manufacturer to the customer or from the creator to the customer. So advertising is going to facilitate the promotion of the goods. It is also a auxiliary to trade. Without advertising, there is not that much of possibility at present, such that market needs to get the awareness and exposure of the products which are produced by the manufacturers. Next one is insurance. As already we stated that in business there is high risk and uncertainty. So there is a need to secure the interest of the business. Henceforth, there is a need to insure the businesses, insure the products, insure the warehouses, insure the transportation vehicles. So insurance is also a part and parcel of the different auxiliaries to trade. The next one is banking and financing. Without money, there is no business. So henceforth, there is a need of capital, there is a need of financial support. So the banking and financial sector is providing services, different financial services to the merchants or the traders or to the business people. Henceforth, they are also doing business as a support of the business. So this comes under the auxiliaries to trade. And the last one, others which were not mentioned here, they will be coming under the various other services like communication services. The communication services are used, internet services. They are all coming under the various auxiliaries to trade. I hope that you might have understood the classification of business or business activities today, and we hope that you will always keep in mind when you go for analyzing the elements, various elements or components of these business activities. Thank you very much for today. Thank you very much. Okay, if you have any queries, please ask me in the assignment. Okay, thank you very much.